On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, the Knicks have officially made a hire, LeBron has picked up a golf club, and the Yankees might be legally dead. We do have some NBA trades, U.S. soccer heartbreak, a Tour de France update, of course, and one of the worst handball calls you will ever hear about. Plus, heat check to end. We've got some bold picks, some spite bets, and a whole lot of feelings. So lock in, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up!
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
He's on fire! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! Boom shakalaka!
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes! See ya!
He's heating up!
Trying to get open, fires away!
Bang! It's over! The Bulls win it at the buzzer! He's on fire!
Welcome to this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast. As always, I'm Sasha here with my wonderful co-host, Sarah. Unfortunately, Mike is not here this week. And Sarah, you know, usually we'll make a joke about Mike having some terrible physical ailment or some sort of medicinal physical problem. This week, he's just bad at planning. He's as bad at planning as a teen mom getting married in Las Vegas to a guy that just broke out of prison.
Maybe worse, honestly.
Possibly worse.
Maybe a little bit worse.
Listen, Mike's got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of work going on, but what he doesn't like to do is wake up early in the morning and schedule 1 hour of the week to do this. That's for sure.
We're the backseat. We're on the low on the priority list, which fair enough right now. Fair enough.
He's got some high priorities, but listen. But mom and dad over here, we've got some things that we want to talk to him about, and this is the only place that he'll listen.
Yeah, intervention might be warranted. Next episode. There's not a lot going on in sports-wise anyway. Maybe it's just an intervention episode.
Full intervention episode. We'll show up. I was on social media earlier today, and there was just sometimes I'll get intervention clips. My internet algorithm is pretty fucked up. It's just very different, very weird things. People with Down syndrome, people that just like it's people out there just having fun. People that shouldn't have phones. It's a lot of drug addicts doing wild stuff that think is very funny. Whatever. It's a weird place out there. But I get intervention clips sometimes from the show Intervention, and I only get like the funniest bit. There, it's like realistically, it's very sad, but it just being a standalone clip. There was just this guy that's addicted to huffing like air duster, and everybody in his family is like, "Please stop, please get help." And it's like after everybody talks, he's just like, "No, thank you." And they're like, but please, like you're ruining your life. I won't be able to give you money anymore. No thanks. It's like, but sir, but my son, please, you're not going to be allowed back at the apartment if you don't give up duster. And he's just like, no thank you. He's very polite about it, but just absolutely making sure he's picking his best friend Duster over everything else. And maybe this is what we need to do. So I basically have a lot of intervention practice with Mike. And I feel like he still might be choosing Duster over us.
I was just going to say, you'll have to ask Andrea because we went through a major intervention phase in
thank
high
God.
School.
I thought you were going to say you went through a major Duster phase in high school.
No. We weren't quite on that level. But we were like wanting to host interventions for literally everything. We were like, oh my God, Rachel canceled plans today. Intervention. She always cancels on us. Like we literally
got an intervention.
We literally were like trying to schedule them all the time. And then we never had them. I don't know.
Not
I think
one.
We maybe had like a handful. I can't even remember what they were. They were probably the least significant things because none of us are confrontational. So we would like talk and hype up this intervention and be like, yeah, we have to do this. And then like when the time came, we would be like, it's okay. I can't.
I don't really want to intervention this person.
No, we couldn't handle it. So I have a lot of practice planning and intervention. So I can go behind the scenes on that, and then you can execute from watching these.
Those sound like Mike's two least favorite things: planning and intervention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe that'll be good for him. He can.
This is going to be real. We should actually. That's a test. We'll have him plan his own intervention, see if he can do it.
ChatGPT. He'll ChatGPT.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess we got to get to some sports then. Even without Mike, the show must go on. NBA news, again, not that much exciting stuff and not that much exciting stuff here. The Knicks hire Mike Brown, pretty flat hire. I think I've been saying this probably for the past 2 seasons or so. I've said it multiple times on this show. The Knicks basically, it feels like they just need new wallpaper. They need to walk in and have it feel kind of different there. So baby, we got a fresh new coat of beige paint. This was not exactly a flashy move. I'm hoping we get the spark that he kind of gave the Kings for a little bit. They were a little lively there. He was the coach of the Lakers, so he's familiar with what it's like to coach like a big market team like that. I'm more just I'm hoping he'll be fine. I mean, obviously, as soon as the Knicks get out there, like I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be rooting for it. The East is historically bad this year. This is a chance to really do something. So it's more just a classic disappointment of like the Knicks seemingly failing from the top down. Of like, we're going to fire this guy, and it's going to seem like we have a plan, but really we have no real plan. And it's just like we basically asked every cute girl to the dance, and they're all like, no. And so it just feels like we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. It's like you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't actually have a plan. And now we're hopefully not stuck with Mike Brown. I would like to be eating my words in the next 9 months. I can look back and be like, I was crazy. This was a great choice, but it doesn't feel that exciting.
I don't know why I never made this connection before, but this is very similar to the Dallas Cowboys situation this year
Ooh.
with coaching. Like Brian Schottenheimer, flat hire.
Almost
Flat hire.
exactly.
It's like we have fired Mike McCarthy, same kind of situation as Tibbs, right? Like some people were like, we could keep him. Like he kind of has had some success. Like
Yeah.
looking on paper, really not that bad. But then like kind of also knowing the organization might not be going anywhere with them. So it's like, okay, fire them. Seemingly plan in place. In fact, no plan in place. And then just a flat hire where we're just kind of like, I guess we'll see what happens. That's all you can do.
Oh my! We're the same.
Very
It's
similar.
exactly the same because it was the same. All the big names being thrown around, like Vrabel's going to come, or like we had all the high. It was going to be Deion Sanders, Belichick. Yeah, it was going to be all these big names, and then end up with Schottenheimer. We're in the same boat. I don't like this boat.
No, you were describing this, and I'm like, why does this sound very familiar? And then I just
This is my life.
on it. This is me. This is me.
I'm just looking in a mirror.
Yep.
The only other basketball stuff, Mike, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, called his shot that the Hawks were going to be like his kind of pick in the East, and I think they were like plus 1,000 or something to win the East. I think that's down pretty significantly now because they have the Porzingis trade, and then since we recorded last, the Nickeil Alexander-Walker trade and Luke Kennard. So they are adding pieces, and they are looking more and more like a threat. I'm obviously not hoping they won't win the East, but we'll wait till Mike is back to be able to unlock that a little bit. And then, Sarah, did you see LeBron?
How could I not?
He's golfing now.
I love it.
It's just so funny to watch a first-time golfer golf, even though he's like one of the most famous people in the world.
I just hate that he's going to be good in probably like a couple months.
Yeah. I mean, also, it's like, what?
A very short amount of time.
Right. All those athletes, they're obviously athletes for a reason, insane body control. And also, I don't think being 6'8" and like 250 pounds of muscle is bad for, pretty much any athletic feat, but especially golf.
No. Mm-mm. No.
Like he's going to hit the ball a mile, I'm sure. But it is just so 100%. Funny. It's like, watching him walk up, it's like, just looks like every first time golfer, like bad swing, cigar in his mouth, and just like every piece of swag he could find, like every piece of like shirt, hat, got the shoes. It's like he just bought out the store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He went into the clubhouse and went hard before he got there. He was like, I'm a golfer now. Watch me. No, but I think anything LeBron does, honestly, is hilarious. And this is just adding to that now.
Yeah.
To watch this journey as him as a golfer. Although a little weird, like his drinking habits, maybe he never actually will get really good at golf because I feel like he will be out there having a little too much fun on the course to actually like lock in. So maybe he won't become good, which would also be funny. So
yes.
We'll see.
Right, he just becomes like the next. He basically has like the option. It's like, will he be the next Michael Jordan that just like gambling addict to golf all the time, like obsessed with it, or will he be like the next Charles Barkley, where it's like we're just going to keep seeing his swing get worse and worse, and like find weird hitches?
Yeah,
I think I'm hoping for the latter.
Honestly, he seems like a hitch guy for sure.
Yeah, or he'll start playing in all these pro-ams and like start hitting fans and stuff. Like he'll just like really hit somebody with the ball. It'll be terrible.
He might flop if he hits someone.
Yeah. Do you have to like
flop?
He rolls his ankle. He's laying on the ground, rolling around.
Yeah.
Do you have to like sign a waiver to go to any of these pro-ams? Or is it just like being on the course, like as a spectator? Like if you get, I guess it's kind of any sporting. Like if you like baseball too, like if you get, but at least baseball they have the signs where it's like keep your eyes on the field of play.
Right.
Like, is there any repercussions for like these pro-ams? Because like people just get right up on the course, and like if somebody was watching me play golf, like I would really hurt a lot of people.
Too many people every week. Every time I was out there, yeah, I feel like definitely in certain areas there should be, right. Like you should have to sign a waiver, and like when you're maybe like front row or like right off of the fairway sort of thing, which is most people, I guess, at least. So I feel like they should have a waiver, but I would guess no, probably not.
Because
I
I would
own risk.
just sue LeBron for. I mean, just probably not like not even enough money where he would even notice it, and they would just like write a check.
Well, that's a
Like,
good idea. Maybe
right,
we should seek out his next match.
Right, I've got $350,000 of damages to my knee. Like, that doesn't even mean anything to him. I'm not going to be crazy and try to get $10 million worth out, but like, a couple $100,000. LeBron, it's a drop in the bucket to old Mr. James.
Yeah, spin it where he like gets to look like the good guy, just offering to pay you without you even
Yeah.
asking. He would be all in for that. 100%.
Oh my God, yeah. I'll come up with a sob story, so we can write that. We'll find. It's a matter of time. We need to find this. We're in the sweet spot now because it's like you said, a couple months. If he really starts playing, especially right after he retires, like he'll get good. But like we need to find a sweet spot now where he's still not good enough, and like but will be playing in these events.
Yeah, when you're an early golfer, everyone's inconsistent. Like I feel like consistency is like the hardest thing to build over time. So I feel like we have a good amount of time now where even he might think he's getting better and he might actually start playing in things like public, but he just won't have the consistency yet. So I feel like we have maybe a year to make it to really to get this locked in.
This is just like a more fun version of like those like insurance scammers who just go out and like stop short in front of people and hope to get rear-ended. This is just way more exciting.
Oh yeah.
Get a signed glove or something. But then realistically, he's going to come over and apologize, and I'll just like, will you sign my forehead instead? Like I won't have the balls to actually do any of it. Like he'll just give me his golf ball and a signed glove, and I'll be like, thank you, sir. And then I'll be
Thank you so much.
LeBron James fan for life. Other news, I want to keep this quick. MLB, the Yankees are looking as bad as I've seen them look in a long time. They are 7-16 in the last 23. Got throttled by the Blue Jays. Just eked out a win in the last game of the Mets series. Our bullpen is horrifically scary. I had to sit through 4th of July with Don Lebunski, just basically, having a couple vodka tonics and telling me how much better the Mets were, which was funny to watch, but also in the deep dark souls of me, it made me very upset. It's putting me I need the All-Star break to come fast.
Yeah. The Yankees need it bad. I feel like they're lucky this is happening with All-Star break coming because they need something to turn around the train wreck.
We need a reset. Got to fix the pitching. I don't know how that gets fixed. We need to make some sorts of trades. People get back on the track that the first 60 games of the season looked great, but it's been very, very bad for this last 25. We're obviously, we set up, we won a bunch of games at the beginning of the season. We're still, set up to do well, but we need to shake this off. Obviously, if we can turn this around, the timing of this slump is great. Every team goes through slumps. This is just a very, very, very long one, and with some glaring, concerning weaknesses.
I love to see it. I can't say
I hate to see it. It's so mean of you. It's so mean. How are the Orioles doing?
I think turning around the ship a little bit. My dad was inquiring about his bet that he had his place for them to make the playoffs, and he said it's not dead yet. That's the only updates I've really been getting on it. I'm full on into Tour de France mode right now. Maybe when the Tour de France is over, I will then have to lock in on baseball, like after the All-Star break, end of July, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll make it till September. I don't know. Who knows? But
that's a great transition because listen, we missed it last time. We had that first bet, which again, I don't even know how to look up. I don't know how to spell any of these guys' names. Did not win. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But while we're on it now, because you missed last week, we're right in the beginning of it. We need your Tour de France update / preview.
Yes. So currently we're 4 stages into the 21 stage bike race. Over the next 3 weeks, they're going to cover about 2,200 miles, which is crazy when you actually think about it. Like that's
like so most of the way across the U.S., isn't it?
Even by airplane. That's quite a bit, actually.
Yes.
Right now, like I said, hasn't been much going on. Only 4 stages in, so it's okay that we missed a preview last week. Been a lot of boring, flat sprint stages, which basically they ride for 4 hours, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden they sprint all out the last maybe minute of the race. And the sprinters, we didn't really care too much about them. Main notes there. The sprint favorite going into this. So there's sprint favorites and then guys who are favored to win the whole thing, which is like best cumulative time overall. Top sprinter called Jasper Philipsen, formerly referred to as Jasper the Disaster because he would always cut off other riders. He's like, everyone hates him. He would like at the sprint, and they're going all out. He just like would swerve into other riders and cut people off and like sometimes get penalized for it, sometimes not.
It's a
He
cool
crashed.
nickname, though. Cool
I know
nickname.
it is. It is. I don't think he liked it though. He crashed out of the tour on day 3.
Oh,
So
he's out.
sad to see
Okay.
it. Yeah, sad to see it. I mean, these guys train all year and then literally in like 3 seconds, they're done like for the whole year, basically. I mean, they do some other races, but this is like the pinnacle for them. So kind of sucks, but karma in a little bit because he's caused multiple other guys to crash.
It's a disaster.
Severely. He is. He's a disaster for sure. So sprints are wide open. We don't really care too much about that. We're looking at the overall GC, which is I don't even know, like general contender, I think is what I assume what it stands for. Basically, best cumulative time over the 21 stages. To refresh the top guys, we are Jonas Vingegaard fans. He rides for Team Visma Lisa Bike. He's second favorite in this. Tadej Pogacar is number 1. He won last year. What's crazy is I told you they raced 2,200 miles in this tour. Over the past 4 years that these guys have been racing, Jonas and Pogacar are separated by 90 seconds.
That's it?
They race for about 4 to 5 hours a day for 21 days. And then over 4 years cumulative, they have a 90-second difference.
That's crazy.
That's like insane when you actually think about it. So should be a good battle between the two of them this year. Pogacar looks really good. I hate to see it. He won today's stage. I can't bring myself to bet on him. Honestly, I want to hate him, but he's not giving me anything to hate, really.
I can find something if you want. I'll look up some stuff. I'll come back with a list for you.
Okay, find some stuff because I need it. I need that rivalry. I need a reason to hate him. We do have a few riders we don't like on this podcast. Primoz Roglic, he's just a bitch. He crashes out of the tours all the time, but then he talks trash and he's just like thinks he's really good. He's just kind of reckless out there and he hasn't done anything recently to prove it. And then there's Remco Evenepoel, young guy, super cocky, thinks he's really good, thinks he can contend with the top 2. He can't. So we'll see. But basically, I have determined I do not like their demeanor so far.
Okay.
What else we got here? I think that's the main updates for now. Tomorrow's a big day. Time trial. So they each go off individually, see who can go the fastest on a solo ride. So that will kind of start things off in the general contention from there. And then really once we get to the mountain stages, we'll start to see more battles between Jonas and Pogacar, which is when things get a lot more interesting. So a slow start, but we'll see. Other notes unrelated to the tour. It seems like Lance Armstrong has kind of made himself back in. Previously in the tour, they would like literally not even mention him. Like his records, they wouldn't show them. They wouldn't discuss them. His name, like they just pretended he never existed.
Right.
Now he actually has a podcast that's partnered with Peacock where who the tour is on. And they actually are like advertising it during the tour. And he does a podcast every day after, I guess. So maybe he's back on terms with them. Not really sure what happened. I think he still seems kind of like a dick, honestly. So yeah, I've listened to the podcast a few times, but yeah, that's really it. I guess Lance Armstrong, maybe it's just been long enough where the public has decided they moved on from him. I don't know.
I think so. Happens. He was the best thing to ever happen to the sport. At least from an American perspective. I wonder like across the world, because obviously it's like cycling is very popular kind of everywhere. Or like in Europe, like every time I visit, it's just like on TV. So it could just be our very American-centric viewpoint of it. It's like nobody's ever really cared until he did, but it's like I don't know if the rest of the world was like we got cycle fever even more so now because of Lance Armstrong. It also I feel like it'd be a little different if he was like the only guy juicing. It's like everybody got caught doping in that era, so it's not like he was the only guy putting a black eye on the sport. No. It was kind of everybody. So I think that it's that does make it a little bit different where it's like, you know, whatever, aired on Peacock, like that gets people watching, gets people interested again, because it's like you hear cycling, no matter who you are, as long as you're, if you're over 30 years old, it's like you associate cycling with Lance Armstrong. Probably even 25 years old. It's like he was the guy. So it's like throw him on a podcast. Yeah, yeah. Throw him on Peacock. Yeah, you couldn't walk into my middle school without a Livestrong bracelet.
No, you cannot. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like they were talking about, I watched a documentary that came out about last year's. These like the Pogacar, he's Slovenian. He is like more popular than Luka is. And Luka's like very popular, obviously, in Slovenia. Like they're basically the LeBron James and like of their own countries in Europe, these cyclists. And like here we have no idea like who they are. There's I think 4 or 5 American riders in the tour. None of them are like contenders. They're all like domestique, so supporting riders. No one knows who they are. Like at all. But basically in these countries, it's crazy how famous these guys are. Like they show them in the show, like showing up in these Lamborghinis and going to major events with thousands of people there showing up to see them. And it's so hard to even fathom here in America. But
that's so funny. It's like, when we would walk by Pogacar, I looked at this little 5'8", 145-pound bitch. We'd walk right by that guy, but look at that tiny little man.
Their arms are crazy. I have to show, there is one American rider, and I have to say, I don't know if I like the image he's giving the U.S.
Oh no.
Let me try and pull him up quickly for you guys.
What's he got? Was he one of the? I feel like there's so many different ways you could go.
Bad handlebar mustache. Quinn Simmons is his name. Let me pull it up.
Okay. Oh,
this is like a kind of a cool picture of him, honestly, but like.
Yeah, that's exactly
for
who.
The viewers.
Yeah, that's exactly who everybody thinks an American rider is.
Yeah, and like all of his Instagram posts are like born in the USA with the song and stuff. Like a lot of American pride here, but like I feel like all the European writers are probably like, oh my god, he's giving us
this fucking guy.
Americans, yeah. So.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, we're back into it, and we're a Vingegaard podcast. So Pogacar, and I really like that you just called Roglic a bitch. So I'm very Primrose Roglic.
Yep.
Primos. I very much like that. So whatever, more sports, especially during this time of the year, we got to get into it. We got to find ways to get competitive. Only other thing I got, Mexico beat the U.S. in the Gold Cup final. I'm sure you were all over it. We're watching. Very exciting.
Mike texted me actually about it, and he was very excited about
it. Greg Berhalter, the son of the former U.S. coach, who was terrible. He did have a free kick to Chris Richards, who had put a header in, put us up 1-0 in the fourth minute. So I actually thought we had a chance. We were not the favorites going into the game. The odds were pretty close, but Mexico was favored. And then it was just complete Mexican dominance from there on out. They had 60% possession, 16-6 shots on goal. They had 12 corners, and we had zero corner kicks the entire game. There was, however, in the middle of the second half, I think probably in the 60-something minute, 67th minute, handball debacle that Pochettino has basically still been losing his mind about. So the ruling on handballs, which I overall do agree with, is that like if it's not an unnatural movement towards the ball with your hand, like then that's not a handball. Like there needs to be like your hand needs to be out somewhere or whatever, because before when the rule is just like if the ball touches your hand or arm in any way, that's a handball. So there would be some weird times where, let's say you were defending me, you're in front of me, and I kind of just kick, like, and your hands are like in a completely normal, like defending mode, like position on the side of you, or if they're like just if your hands are literally just like you're running, and somebody kicked the ball into your hand, that would be a handball. Okay. That's kind of ridiculous because it's like, so what? It touched your hand.
Yeah,
exactly. So they've changed the rule now. It needs to be like in an unnatural position or like away from your body. So the U.S. had the ball in the box. The guy was trying to make a move. The defender kind of makes a sloppy tackle, and the ball kind of comes underneath him. The guy falls down and goes to put his hand and puts his hand directly on top of the ball. So it's like as he's falling down to the ground, he lands on the ball, like literally catches himself by putting his hand on the ball. It ended up not being called anything. I get that it's kind of a gray area because it's kind of a natural position. He wasn't meaning to really touch the ball with his hands, but it did completely stop the ball from moving, and he did basically just palm it like a basketball, like you were trying to dribble it. So a little crazy. We didn't get a call, but that would have been an opportunity for us to go up 2-1 and score, to have a penalty kick, which would have been huge. Instead, they ended up scoring again. We won. We were not the best team. But on the other hand, they were playing with their complete A squad, and we did not. Like, there are at least our two best players, Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie, both did not play. So in the actual World Cup a year from now, maybe we've got a chance to beat them. I'm under no false pretenses that we have a chance to actually win the World Cup, but it's going to be in the U.S. We've got to make it at least to like the knockout stage of round of 16. We've got to move on there. So. We looked okay with a bunch of kids, kind of had most likely our backup goalie, but this guy played the whole thing. And he was trying, I'm not sure if Pochettino was just trying to get him some burn or if he was actually like, this is going to be our new starting goalie. I think it's Christian Freeze. But once we get Pulisic and McKinney back and we actually get our A squad and Pochettino, former coach of Tottenham Hotspur, he's also coached around. He can get his way with these guys. Some hope, I guess. I don't know. Would have been good to win it, but at the end of the day, I guess who cares? It really meant a lot to those Mexican dudes. It was especially with all the stuff going on, all the political stuff going on. It's like they just come into Houston and beat up on America. It meant the fans were going fucking crazy, like breaking decibel meters type shit. It was fun to watch. So we'll see. World Cup on the way. It'll be fun. And don't worry, soccer's right around the corner.
I feel like it's gonna be World Cup, and then the Premier League's probably back immediately.
Oh, it's not even the World Cup. We got a whole Premier League season before the World Cup. Premier League starts in about a month and a half.
Oh, who could forget? Wow.
These guys don't get any time off. It never stops. I don't know. I really don't know like how these guys do. I mean, obviously they're paid very handsomely for their duties. Yeah. But they it's not like the sports. It's like these guys literally play 9.5 months, get like 2.5 months off, and then even in the months off, they go and play with like their country team or have all these other like tournaments. So it's
how long are their careers? Like, are they short because they play so much? Or
some of the actually, so a personal career, like if they're decent, they actually last a while because like instead of like a guy who's really good plays at like the top level in the Premier League or somewhere, or in La Liga or Ligue 1 or whatever, any of these top Bundesliga, the major countries' leagues, even if they can't really hack it there. Like what some of these guys are doing when they get to, they hit 32, 33. I mean, they do play for a decent amount of time. Then they can go play in a smaller country, or they can come over. These guys are making a fucking bag in the U.S., or they can go and play. Some of these guys will go and play around Europe, make a bunch of money, and then they play for a couple years in like their hometown club in Brazil or something. Or like they'll go back to this. So it's like they will play much longer. They're not playing at the high level for ever. Like there's a couple guys that really do make it last a long time, but there's just so many leagues around the world that these guys get paid doing it. So it's like they may not play at the highest league forever, but they're playing for a long time, and they'll always be able to find a home where like even if they don't have the step that they once did or the speed that they once did, it's like they can still go basically be heroes in Belgium or Chile or Argentina or whatever, come over to the US and get paid. So they make a lot of money. I'm not worried about them.
No. I was not either. I was just curious if they burnt out very fast because it seems like they're playing so frequently.
And you're like, frankly, I regret asking.
Yeah.
All right. But that is all good. So we, as always, got some time, end with heat check. So Mike was kind enough to send us a bet. Sarah, did you have it? I think I got it here.
Yeah.
What's he got? I got it.
It was the Indiana Fever.
It was.
Minus 7.5 versus Valkyries. Is that
yes.
the team? Or
it's Golden State. Golden State Valkyries. I think it's one of the newer WNBA teams. So we know things are bad when Mike is betting WNBA.
Yeah, I saw that come through and I was like, oh, interesting.
I think it's also just rude because he's kind of making us say it, which I don't like either. Yeah. So Mike taking the Indiana. Is it Indianapolis or Indiana? Indiana Fever, right? The state.
Yeah, me thinking it's a typo, his second one. Yeah. I was waiting for him to correct it, and he didn't.
Sarah, what do you got for us for heat check?
So, sticking with our allegiance, I'm going to go Jonas Vingegaard to just win any stage in the Tour de France. That's minus 125. We're only 4 stages in. None of them were his favorable type wins, so we have lots of opportunities. So, I feel like that's a really good bet to take at this point. I'm pretty sure he'll win at least one from here out.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'm a fan. I'm going to go something a little different here. I spoke with a consigliere of mine that I work with, Kyle. He's a big boxing, big MMA fan, kind of all combat sports. There's a big fight coming up on Netflix this Friday, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. This is going to be the trilogy. There have been 2 fights in the past. They were incredible. I'm not sure it's probably got super well known. They were the fight right before the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I'm not sure if you watched that at all, but they kind of stole the show. Like they were incredible, just trading shots. It was unbelievable. So this is the 3rd one. Katie Taylor has won both of these fights before. One by split decision, one by unanimous decision. The world was kind of rooting for Amanda Serrano. She was flashier, just kind of hitting hard. Like it really just was kind of made everybody a buzz. Everybody thought Serrano was going to win. But then Taylor had won both of these. So there's kind of just a lot of a lot of animosity there. And then there's also just, it seems like some shady shit was going on. Nobody thought Katie Taylor, basically everybody thought Serrano should have won at least one of them, but has not. So a lot of controversy, and the world is rooting for Serrano. So I'm going the complete other way, and I'm taking Katie Taylor by decision. So I'm not only just picking her, but Katie plus by decision is plus 165. I think she'll just point Serrano to death. She doesn't, she may not necessarily hit as hard, but if I can get her at plus money, because I think Serrano right now is the favorite. I think she's, minus 140. So it's, it's pretty close either way. But Katie Taylor, I'm going 3-0 against Amanda Serrano by decision plus 165.
I like it.
Should be fun. They throw hands. They are some tough ladies. It's going to be a good fight either way. They're absolute rock stars. So Mike is taking the Fever plus 7 or a minus 7.5 on July 9th. Sarah's taking Jonas Vingegaard to win a stage of the Tour de France at minus 125, and I'm taking Katie Taylor on Friday by decision plus 165. So we've always got some fun stuff to gamble on, and we always keep it a good time. So, Mike, we miss you. But other than that, listen, I think we did an all right job, you and me, Sarah. Huh?
I think we did.
Just like old time, just for old time's sake, huh?
It was an OG throwback episode.
So we absolutely love it. So as always, we appreciate you guys listening, following along. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. Watch our beautiful faces on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you next week.